Connected Canadians. Connecting older adults with technology, training, and support.
I'm Jesse Smith. I had been the head bartender at Social Restaurant and Lounge in Ottawa.
My name is Tanya Maljar, and I was a server at Social Restaurant and Lounge in Ottawa.
My name is Tyler Kinnear. I was one of the managers at a Social Restaurant and Lounge on Sussex.
My name is Ken Roy, and I was a server at Social Restaurant and Lounge.
My name is Jan Tashbanar, and I was working in a Northern Italian restaurant. I was their head bartender.
So my name is Veronique Savoie, and I was the bar manager and sommelier at Social Restaurant.
Like software for collaboration, not just video conferencing, but whole ecosystem of applications and file sharing that include things like Basecamp and Slack. And I learned a lot about how to do tech support and mentorship for people who have almost no experience with things that I take for granted.
We were introduced to many different platforms. We were introduced to Slack, Basecamp. I also took on a bit more of a coordination role, which was very exciting, where I was introduced to a ticketing system called Mojo as well. As a group, we were taught how to use FreshBooks and how to generate our own invoices. But also, it was just incredible to be able to update my LinkedIn profile, for instance, and make that a new priority. Also add skills to my resume that are now marketable in a completely different field from the one I've been working with in the industry.
Using things like TeamViewer, that was I've never really done the whole screen sharing thing. That was been pretty new. So just kind of neat programs. There's also a lot of little tricks, more iPhone tricks and hacks and stuff.
Using more than just Zoom in terms of video conferencing, we got to use TeamViewer, which is a really nice piece of technology that allows you to view somebody else's screen, and you can guide them through what they're working on through that. It was my first experience with Google Hang, which is another great piece of technology that's sort of similar to Zoom and FaceTime, but has its own sort of perks.
TeamViewer, I never heard about it before. That was the first time that I encountered, and it's now I know how to use it, as well as I used to use Zoom. It's easy. It was easy, but now I feel like I have the efficiency to use it properly. Most of the Apple products I was comfortable. Now I'm more comfortable with Google Calendar, Gmail accounts, Apple, any of the applications or softwares.
I really learned certain programs like Zoom, and I know it sounds simple, but little things like how to flip the camera back and forth, how to change the background was really cool. How to mute, all of the little things in Zoom that people don't realize you actually have to learn. We did some exercises where we could build a website, teach individuals how to use a blog system. In my future endeavors, one of the most useful one, Slack being really good for projects when a lot of people have some form of, common goal as far as a project or job that they have to do, and how easy that app was used for communication.
Encountering clients that had so little experience with technology that I needed to walk them through even what it means to say tap versus touch on a screen. And I simply could not believe some of the things that people didn't know that I just took for granted.
When I have a session with a client, it forces me to really research what their request is and write out basically step by step how to do things, which is, I'm learning with the client, and yeah, it's been a great experience.
A person that I hopped on a call with a fellow coworker from Social, we tackled it together, and it was a person that's never really used technology ever in his life. And it was a hurdle. You build your relationship based on trying to connect with them and build that relationship. And then you ease into how to fix the problem a lot more casually than going right to it. In my experience, that it really worked. So you just, and then it becomes more of a conversation.
two seniors I was working with, they were working together to try to turn on the camera on their laptop. I forget what model of laptop they had, but it was pretty ancient. And it took us quite a bit of time to get to the bottom of why the camera wasn't turning on when they were trying to use Zoom. And, you know, where I'm at the table at the kitchen, where we're both working together, and my girlfriend and I, and she's listening in the whole time, just sort of, you know, she couldn't see what was happening on the screen, but she's taking it all in. And then in the end, we finally succeeded. We got the camera on, and she could hear the two ladies on the other end of the screen just like burst with joy, you know, like, sweet, we got it. And they were sort of high-fiving, and my girlfriend had like a single tear coming down her eye because of how cute and sweet and wholesome the situation was.
She used to be an art teacher in a high school, and then now I think she's fully retired, and then she does presentations by herself and giving some conferences. And the main thing that she wanted to have is the fact that she wanted to be able to do it from her house, doing this whole presentation. So getting her into the world of the Zoom, and then how we integrate her PowerPoint slides or her presentations into that spectrum was the most rewarding, because as well as this is a one-on-one interaction, so I can see from her face that she is feeling more confident, and she's expressing in a very like high way. So in that case, it makes me feel that she is more able to explain herself and express herself right now.
Originally, there were one-on-one tutoring sessions, and then you want to do, ideally some, tours with the art gallery. And then on top of that, we want to do some gaming sessions. And then eventually in the works, maybe long-term, there might be more tutorials on specific apps. And so again, like this program seems to, fundamentally has to do with, let's have a mentor to help a senior, but there's so much potential with it.
For me, or the me of 3 months ago, to say, I can't believe people don't know how to do X, Y, Z, or that they don't know what this means or that means, was obviously taking a lot for granted. And I now have both more sort of humility when it comes to what people don't know, and more willingness to just believe anything is possible in terms of what education you can provide to people.
I'm a completely different person, I would say, as dramatic as that sounds, but yes, and my confidence as well. And after I actually served my first client, this sense of excitement and satisfaction and pride I had after getting her connected to Zoom, and she successfully sent me an invite to meet up next week, was just a feeling I hadn't experienced in a long time, to be honest. So that was very, very special moment for me.
Don't be worried about your technical skills. You really have fun with it, and just connect with them, and it'll make the time go. You'll realize an hour is not a lot of time, and it can go by fast.
The sense of reward you get every time that you help a senior, connect with loved ones, or even just, learn how to turn their camera on or off, or just sign into their mail. There's a sense of reward that it is very, very, very nice.
Just keeping it simple, being patient, and just like reminding yourself that whatever we do, it's going to make some other people's lives better. Like their life expectancies are going to get higher. So like, just take that into consideration while you're doing this. Even if you're frustrated, it's fine. Even if you get tired, that's also fine. But it's a human connection.
I definitely learned a lot in technology, but more importantly, learned how to build on my communication skills with different individuals. So how to listen, how to be empathetic, how to be respectful, how to speak more slowly and clearly. So learned a lot about communication as well, and some of the hardships that come with it. So I'm really excited to see how this grows. So since I was part of the first cohort, we were able to kind of build a lot of the program, and now we get to really start implementing it, and hopefully every single group of cohort, and then eventually with the volunteers as well, we can have a very strong foundation of things that we can teach and share with them as well.